Game Kings, the definition of game, documentary, coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and this one says, "Hey, Mr. Locario, I really love your videos, and I appreciate what you're doing for the game. So I've been going to a couple of bars and clubs. I actually like the low-key bars better because it's easier for me to talk to women. When I go to these bars, what I started to do first was just chill and see if any chicks were checking for me. I had the 5s and 6s giving me choosing signals, but I wasn't really into them that much. I had one chick who was like an 8 who was giving me signals. So I approached her, but then when I was talking to her, she was an attention whore. It's right what you say about choosing signals. It doesn't happen that often. So what I usually do is I cold approach. When I cold approach, I actually get some girls' numbers and I'm able to talk to some of these girls in a way where things happen. I'm still not getting exactly what I want. Sometimes I stumble over my words. For example, I was trying to talk to this girl and she was so hot I didn't know what to say. Also, I was talking to another girl and she was giving me 1- and 2-word answers. So my question to you is, what can I do to improve my cold approach game? What are some tips and what are some steps that I can take? All right, guys. So this is the thing. You know, I always talk about cold approaching, choosing signals, all that other stuff, right? And I say that cold approaching is the most efficient way to get the largest amount of women. You understand? And the thing is, the reason why I say, to get the largest amount of women is not necessarily to have a lot of women. It's to have a bigger pool of women to choose from so that you can have the type of women that you want. You understand what I'm saying? So for example, let's say you cold approach or you approach like 20 chicks, right? And out of those 20, you get maybe 2, right? Then you cold approach another 20, you get another 2. You cold approach another 20, you get another 2. So, you got 6 chicks to choose from, right? Out of those 6 chicks, what happens is, let's say 1 or 2 of them is on point, and then you can fuck with those 1 or 2, versus when you're waiting for choosing signals, let's say you get like 1 chick a week, choosing you. You feel what I'm saying? That chick has to be the type of chick you want to be with. And if she's not, you got to wait for the next one. And if this chick isn't, you got to wait for the next one. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I tell guys to, do cold approach, but also take advantage of choosing signals, but don't just wait on the choosing signals. So that's, I just want to clarify that because, dudes is, I don't know what's up with some dudes nowadays, man. But anyway. But the thing is this, what I wanted to do for this video though also, and to give you some insight on cold approaching and what's gonna make it more beneficial for you, is to understand what's the thing that's gonna make it hard for you to actually cold approach. Because what I'm hearing in your email, you're saying you're stumbling over your words, and certain things like that. So what I want to talk about in this video is, things that you actually need to do in order to be successful at cold approaching. And if you're not able to do these things, you're not going to be able to cold approach successfully. You feel what I'm saying? So let me just jump right into this. So one of the things that you need to do in order to cold approach successfully is you have to have heart. You understand what I'm saying? You have to have heart. So what does that mean? That means that you have to be bold. You have to be brave. You understand? A lot of dudes who, don't like cold approaching It's because they're scared. And I've talked about this before, a bunch of times. You understand what I'm saying? They're scared. They'll act like, they're not. They'll act like they're this, super cool guy and all that, but they're just scared. You understand? They don't have heart. You understand? And so the thing is, the reason why you need to be brave and have heart is because, you're putting yourself out there. You understand what I'm saying? You're pushing yourself to take action. You see what I mean? And so that requires courage. You understand? So this is why a lot of dudes don't like the cold approach, because they don't have that heart. They don't have that courage. You understand? It is what it is. Like, dudes could, act like, some other shit, but that's part of it, is that they have no heart. Right? So that's number one. Second thing, this is the reason why cold approaching doesn't work for a lot of guys, and why a lot of guys don't like to do this shit. But if you do this and you develop this thing, then it's going to be easier for you. See, in order to be successful at cold approaching, you have to have good verbal communication skills, meaning your mouthpiece has to be on point. See, the thing is this, a lot of dudes don't really have a mouthpiece. Because if they had a mouthpiece, then when they cold approach, they would have a lot more success. See, what a lot of guys think is, they think when you cold approach, you got to approach 100 women to get like one chick. I heard somewhere where somebody was saying some shit like, when you cold approach, you got to approach like 300 women to get one chick, which is bullshit. See, the reason why a lot of guys have trouble when it comes to cold approach is because they don't know how to talk to women. So they'll approach this girl, they'll approach another girl, they'll approach another girl, but when they're having that conversation, they don't know how to talk to the chick. They don't know how to flirt. They don't know how to build sexual tension. They don't know how to grab a woman's attention with their words. You understand? Because you were even saying that you was like kind of fumbling over your words and shit. And you're talking to the girl, she's giving you one-word answers and all this other stuff. And there's ways to interact with a woman to where you're not fumbling over your words, to where if she's given one-word answers in certain situations, there's ways to flip that to get the girl to open up more. But see, that comes with actually having skill. So a lot of guys who don't like cold approaching, the reason why is because they don't have the skill to communicate with a woman effectively to get what they want when it comes to dealing with these chicks. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why dudes will wait for choosing signals, because they think, okay, if the chick is choosing me, that'll make it easier, right? And in some situations it does, right? But you still have to go and approach her either way, even if she's choosing. But the thing is, a lot of times guys don't have that skill to, just see a random chick they want to, holler at and make it happen. You see what I'm saying? And that goes with the, it also goes with the first thing I was talking about, where they have no heart. You understand? They have no heart and they have no skill to talk to the chick. So of course they're not going to cold approach. To them, it's a waste of time. I've heard that a lot of dudes is like, cold approaching is a waste of time. I get it. Of course it's going to be a waste of time if you don't know how to talk to women and you are scared to approach. You understand? So that's the second thing. Now, the third reason why dudes don't like cold approaching, and if you have this type of quality, you will be successful at cold approaching. But the third reason is, a lot of dudes are not go-getters. You understand? They're not go-getters. What I mean is that they don't have the drive or the motivation to really go after what they want. You understand? They don't. See, it's a very alpha male trait to go after what you want. That's what men do. They want something, they go after it. You understand? They take action. They do the things they need to do to get what they want. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, a lot of these dudes aren't go-getters. So they'll be walking around, and this happens to every dude. They'll be walking around, they'll see a badass chick they want to holler at, and they won't do shit because they're like, well, she ain't looking my way and she ain't choosing, so they not gonna do shit. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have that go-getter attitude. You understand? And it's not even like anything where they gotta be chasing a girl down the street and, you know, like trying to go out their way. These motherfuckers could be online at Starbucks and a bad chick is standing right in front of them online, and these niggas won't say shit. Again, because they don't have that heart. You understand what I'm saying? And they probably ain't got no skill to talk to chicks. And they don't have that go-getter attitude and energy. You understand? See, the thing is this, man. Like, I've fucked with a lot of women, bruh. A lot of women. And the reason why I fucked with a lot of women is because, one, I like female energy around me. When it's women. I don't like bitch ass nigga energy around me. You feel what I'm saying? But I like female energy around me. I like to fuck chicks, right? And, you know, I just like the game. The shit just fascinates me, where I can go out, pick a girl, interact with her, and I'd say 8 to 9 times out of 10, I could get that chick who I approached. I just love that shit. And I love going and getting that. You understand? Like, it just feels weird to me to be in a situation where I see a chick I actually want to talk to, who I'm actually attracted to, and just not do shit at all because she's not choosing me. You feel what I'm saying? Or she's not really, like, you know, showing me any signs. Because see, this is what guys got to understand about women. A lot of women are passive and passive aggressive. So a lot of times women will throw out signals that you don't even see. You understand? Also, what happens is that women sometimes choose you within the interaction. I've talked about this before, but dudes don't get this. What does that mean when I say women will choose you within the interaction? That means a chick could not even be checking for me at all. You understand? Meaning I could be literally right in front of a chick and she's not looking at me, she's not acknowledging me, she ain't doing shit. Like, I might as well not even be there. You understand what I'm saying as far as is that shit's concerned, right? But I could go up to that girl and start talking to her. And then because I started talking to her and I'm interacting with her and she's feeling the vibe, she is now choosing me. You understand? So she's choosing me after I cold approached her. Because see, this is what a lot of dudes don't get. Even when you wait for choosing signals, the chick still has to choose you again. I'm gonna have to do a whole video just on that. But I'll give you a brief, thing of what I'm talking about. Women are consistently choosing you. Meaning that, let's say a girl gave you a choosing signal. You approach her, you start talking to her. She still has to choose you again, meaning she has to like what you're talking about. She has to like the vibe. She has to feel that energy in that situation to want it to continue. Right? Then, when it comes to you and her fucking, guess what? She has to choose you again. She's like, okay, this guy's cool, but do I want to fuck him? Do I want to continue to engage with him? Do I want to do anything with this guy still at this moment? Right? So, that's what it is. But yeah, a lot of dudes they're not go-getters. So if you're not a go-getter type of motherfucker, choosing, not choosing, but cold approach that's not gonna work for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have that go-getter attitude. See, I got that go-getter attitude. You understand what I'm saying? And that happens in all facets of my life. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I just go, I get shit popping, I do what I need to do to get where I need to go. You understand? That's the reason why I'm successful. Because I don't wait on shit. I'm impatient like a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all, for those who frequent my channel, look at how many videos I have on my channel. There's over 3,000 videos on this channel. Right? That's some go-getter shit. Like, I don't stop, I don't wait, I keep going. And this is just on this channel. My old channel that, got taken down a few years ago, I had about 2,000 videos on that. And then the channel before that, I had about 1,500 videos on that, right? Now, at this point, I'm at about 15 million combined views on YouTube. Before that, I was at 25 million combined views. And before that, I was, I think, about like 8 or 9 million combined views. Also, my websites had about 3 to 4 million combined views, when it first came out. At this point, it's probably another 3, 4 million, 5 million maybe. I got to check the stats, right? But what I'm saying is that my success rate is because I'm a go-getter. You understand what I'm saying? I don't wait. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I still fuck with choosing signals. See, that's the part that I don't think dudes is really listening to what I'm saying sometimes. I said choosing signals is great. I said choosing signals is good if it happens. Take advantage of that. What I'm saying, though, is don't just rely on that because you're cutting yourself short. That's what I'm saying. And so what a lot of guys, they have this thought. They say, well, like, I just, because, a lot of dudes, they have this thing where they're like, well, I don't need a lot of chicks. I just need that one girl, that one special girl. Well, yeah, if you want that one special girl, then I get it. But even if you want that quote unquote one special girl, whatever the fuck that means, right? You still got to go through a number of different women to find that in a lot of cases. So it's quicker to do that by being a go-getter and going out there and you picking and choosing who you want to talk to and interact with, than waiting around for it to happen. You see what I'm saying? But dudes, because it's funny, because I've had women, they hit me up and they're, or chicks that I even fucked with from in back in the day, or, just chicks in general I fucked with. And I always hear this thing where they're like, but Lucario, what's wrong with you, man? Like, why do you feel the need to want to have all these women? And, what's that about? And why can't you just be with one woman? And, or why can't you narrow it down to this? And, a lot of the chicks, they'll say that to me because they want to keep me for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? But also it's, it's more of like a shaming tactic. You know what I'm saying? Because, they don't want me to be with a bunch of chicks. It's really like, it's like a shaming tactic that women usually say. You feel what I'm saying? But back to this go-getter thing. See, if you're not the go-getter type, choosing signals, that shit gonna be, not choosing signals, fucking cold approach, that shit ain't gonna, it's gonna be hard for you. But if you're that go-getter type, man, listen, that shit is gonna work out for you heavy. You understand what I'm saying? And see, again, it's not just about sex. See, that's the part that dudes don't understand. It's not just about sex. It's about you having the best situation for you when it comes to women. And anybody who deals with women, who's good with women, will know that you need a large number of women to choose from to filter out so you can get the best chick. You understand what I'm saying? That's what, people who understand this game do. See, look, if chicks were perfect, or if chicks, if 95 to 98% of women were just like on point on all cylinders, then I'd be like, yeah, just fucking, just chill out, wait for one of them to choose you, and then fuck with that chick and call it a day. But, real niggas know that these chicks are goofy. Real niggas know that these chicks are flaky. Real niggas know that these chicks are all over the fucking place. They're emotionally driven. You understand what I'm saying? They know this. They know that you're going to have to, in a lot of cases, keep replacing chicks. You understand what I'm saying? They know this, right? Until you find that chick who's on point and who's down for you, you understand, a lot of times it's going to take a while for that to happen. Now, if it happens, quickly, or if it just happens for you, like just, you just lucked out, then hey, that's great. But if that's not the case, your ass got to go out there and do what you got to do. You understand? You got to do what you got to do. So when you have that go-getter attitude, you feel what I'm saying? You get more shit popping. You get more of a sample size of women so that you can narrow it down to the best option for you. Whether that be you wanting that one special chick, right? Or if you want a team of women, but you'll have a dope-ass team of women to fuck with, right? So now the last thing I want to wrap this up with, I don't want, this is already getting a little too long, but last thing I want to wrap this up with, as to why, dudes don't want a cold approach, but also, what's going to help you is a lot of dudes don't want to cold approach because of their ego. Because of their ego. You know what I'm saying? It's real simple. Niggas got big ass egos, which is why they don't want to cold approach, because what happens when you cold approach, you're going to get those rejections. You understand? See, the funny part is choosing signals, you still get rejections, but a lot of times what you have is delayed rejections. You understand? And also it will happen less often because you're going to get choosing signals less often than, you interacting with chicks when it comes to cold approach. See, because a lot of dudes, they'll be all up in their ego. They're like, oh, but, I don't want to, a girl to think this certain way if I approach her, and I don't want her to think, I'm going to look thirsty, and, it's going to look this way, and, I'm gassing her head up, and then if she sees me as this type of guy, and she's going to think I'm like every other guy out here, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's funny that, we have all these so-called masculine men who actually give a fuck about what these chicks think. I'm like, my nigga, I thought you was, thought you was a man, bro. Like, why you give a fuck about a chick looking at you a certain way or thinking you this way or that way? You understand? Why? I don't understand that shit. But dudes they all up in their ego. Because instead of them actually doing what they need to do to just get the job done when it comes to you getting a girl and making shit happen. What it is that, you know, they're worried about how they're going to look to people. They're worried about everybody looking at them. They're worried about, you know, what this person or that person's going to say. They're worried about what the chick is going to think. They're worried about, you know, how they're going to look to other people around if this girl doesn't want to talk to them. All of this extra shit. You understand? It's that ego. You know what I mean? And so, you know, dudes gotta, look, if you, listen, imagine, right? Just imagine that if you approached a woman, just imagine you lived in a world where you approached a woman, and if she didn't want to talk to you or rejected you, it didn't matter. Imagine you lived in that world. Imagine you lived in a world where when you approached the woman, the people who were around in that situation, the people who were, like, let's say you approached a girl on the street, the people who were also on the street didn't give a fuck because they're not paying attention to you like that, because they're in their own world doing their own thing. Imagine you lived in a world like that. You understand? Imagine you lived in a world where you could approach women and you're going to actually have some women who are attracted to you and actually want to talk to you and, you know, give you the number, hang out with you, have some sex with you, hook up with you, whatever it is. Imagine you lived in a world like that, right? But the thing is, you know, you don't have to imagine, because you're living in that fucking world right now. But dudes, they actually think that a chick rejecting them is the end of the world. They think that a chick thinking they're thirsty or a chick looking at them a certain way is the end of the world. They think that motherfuckers actually are taking time out of their day to stop in the street. Like, these niggas, they think they in the street, they approach a girl, and everybody on the street stops, pauses, looks, points. I'm like, these niggas is fucking that narcissistic? Seriously? I'm like, that you think these motherfuckers care about you approaching some chick? You know what I'm saying? But see, dudes they all up in their ego. They're not doing what they need to do to get the job done. You understand? When I approach a chick, and if she ain't trying to talk to me or she rejects me, I just keep it moving. I don't even remember that chick after the next 3 or 4 minutes because I'm busy talking to another girl. You understand what I'm saying? I promise you I can't remember any of the chicks that rejected me in my life. I can't. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a funny ass story real quick. This is so funny. So I actually approached a chick twice and didn't realize it. So basically, I approached this chick one time and she rejected me. I can't even remember what actually happened when she rejected me. And then I approached her again the next week. You understand what I'm saying? So when I approached her, she said, "Hey, didn't we speak last week?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Nah." She was like, "Yeah, we was met in front of the so-and-so and you said this." And I'm like, "You sure that was me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm positive it was you." And then she was like, "Your name's Locario, right?" Like, this chick remembered my fucking name, and I didn't remember who the fuck she was. You understand? Long story short, I hit it. But anyway, my point is that I didn't fucking remember her. Why? Because her rejecting me didn't fucking matter. It didn't do anything to my life. I was not thinking about her. You understand what I'm saying? To the point where I approached this chick another time thinking this is the first time I'm fucking approaching her. Why? Because I don't approach and interact with chicks when I'm, dealing with my ego. I don't I don't give a fuck. The only thing I'm thinking about is that chick's hot right there. I'm trying to make something happen with her. If I make something happen, cool. If I don't, cool. I move on to the next chick. You feel what I'm saying? But see, when you on that ego shit, right? You are the type of guy who is scared to make moves because you see yourself as you know, in this certain way. You see yourself, you identify as a certain type of guy. And so what you don't want to happen is you don't want a woman to interact with you in a way that goes against how you see yourself, because that's going to crush your ego. You get it? Meaning, if you think that you're this super fly motherfucker that, you know, the chicks just want you and yeah, you that nigga and all of that other shit, and you don't approach no bitches because you so cool and shit, and you ain't got to do none of that because bitches be jocking you and all that stuff, right? So now what's going to happen is that if you approach a chick and she ain't trying to talk to you, oh, so what happened, Super Mac nigga? What happened, Super Fly nigga? Oh, so that girl didn't want to talk to you? Oh, wait, the other girl didn't want to talk to you too? Wait a second, you got rejected 3 times in a row? Nigga, my nigga, stop cold approaching, bruh. Stop cold approaching, nigga. You need to chill the fuck out and wait for them choosing signals, because the choosing signal is going to validate the illusion that you have about who the fuck you are. That's why niggas don't want a cold approach. They all up in their ego. And, you know, niggas trust me, the ego is a funny thing, because when you identify with your ego, you try hard to protect that identity, and anything that comes into contact with you that makes you, or that makes you question that identity, that's dangerous for you. You understand? So that's what it is, man. But look, this is the thing I want to say and I'm wrapping this up right now, because it's like fucking like 2 a.m. and shit. I'm doing this, but anyway, the thing is this, man. If you want to get good at cold approaching, remember, you got to have heart. Your verbal communication skills got to be on point when it comes to dealing with women. You got to have that go-getter attitude, and you have to get out of your ego. And understand that if you don't have heart and you're a coward, cold approaching is not for you. If your verbal communication skills suck, cold approaching is not for you. If you are not a go-getter and you just want to sit around and wait, then, you understand what I'm saying? Cold approaching ain't for you. And if you're all up in your ego, right, then cold approaching ain't for you. But that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you need some help, you understand? Holla at your boy. Now, before you go, make sure you click the link below to get your free copy of the audio program, Undeniable Game. This program is going to teach you 7 easy-to-follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. In this audio program, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to become that confident man women are attracted to. You'll also learn what you must do to become better at approaching and talking to women. You'll learn why women don't return your calls and what to do to increase the chances of women returning your calls. You'll also learn the only time you should call or text a woman. You'll learn how to start conversations with women. You'll learn the mindset you must have to be successful with women. You'll also learn the main thing you need to do to figure out if a woman is really interested in you, and much more. So make sure you click the link below to get your copy today.